Okay, welcome back. Hope you're all having a great week. Today we're continuing our practice question series. Where we're going through some RBT exam questions and breaking them down, how you should think about them on your actual exam. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you're looking for our study materials, please check out rbtexamreview.com. We offer 3 practice exams, a task list study guide, combo pack, comes with everything, plus flashcards, and of course, our competency study guide as well. Questions, comments, please let me know. I'd love to help. Congratulations to everyone who's recently passed. Let us know when you pass so we can include you in our Sunday shout out. Other than that, keep working hard, study hard. Let's get to our questions. Question 1. Gas prices are rising in your city. Yesterday, you drove by a gas station that had gas for almost $1 cheaper than the gas station closest to your house. You filled up at the cheaper gas station and went there the next 2 times you needed gas. Your behavior was changed due to what? What kind of question are we dealing with? Clearly a reinforcement or a punishment question. More importantly, this is a question that is probably true to a lot of our lives right now. The reason that's important is as you're studying for the RBT exam, you need to be applying as many terms as you can to your real life. As an RBT, that's what you're going to be doing, analyzing human behavior. What better behavior to analyze than your own? The more you can start applying things like reinforcement and punishment to your everyday life, the better at the exam you're going to be. In this case, what happened? Well, you're looking for gas. You drove by a gas station. The gas was cheaper. You pulled into the gas station. You filled up. You got cheaper gas. Next time you needed gas, you went back. So what do we ask ourselves first with reinforcement and punishment? We ask, did my behavior increase? Did my behavior decrease? Clearly, our behavior increased because from now on, we started going to this gas station. If it increased, are we dealing with reinforcement or are we dealing with punishment? Well, we're dealing with reinforcement. We then ask ourselves, did something get added or something taken away? Well, the result of your response was a cheaper gas price. So we have this positive effect, okay, this added effect of our response. Therefore, we put them together. How was our behavior changed, or what was our behavior changed due to? It was due to positive reinforcement. Easy as that. Attack reinforcement and punishment questions the same way every time. You'll never miss one. Question 2. What is the primary goal of using a response cost procedure in a token economy? When you get a question that specifically uses a term like this one, response cost, in it, it's almost a definition question disguised as an application question. They really want to know, do you know everything there is to know about the term, or in this case, response cost? So how do we attack this question? Remember, we're on the attack. Ask yourself, what do I know about response cost? And start gathering information for the answer choices. Don't go to the answer choices yet. Attack up front. So response cost, typically used in a token economy, a token or a reinforcer is removed in response to a maladaptive behavior. The goal is to decrease that behavior. It's a punishment procedure. It's negative negative punishment. All good things, right? Now we have all that information to use to answer the question, which again is, what is the primary goal of using this response cost procedure? Let's see. A, provide additional reinforcement whenever possible. What did we just mention about response cost? With the punishment procedure, we can eliminate A. B, fading out the reinforcement schedule as soon as possible. Did we talk about reinforcement schedules at all when going through our list of response cost knowledge? No, it doesn't have anything to do with the reinforcement schedule. Eliminate B. C, adding a punishment component to the economy. Okay, what do we talk about with response cost? We talked about punishment. C so far looks the best. And then D, increasing responding in an economy. Are we trying to increase behavior with response cost? No, we're using punishment. We're trying to decrease. Therefore, we can eliminate D, leaving us with C, adding a punishment component to the economy. So what is the primary goal? Adding a punishment component to the economy. Now, you might say, well, the primary goal is really reducing a target behavior, right? Sure, but is that one of our answer choices? First off, no, so we need the best answer. And second, adding a punishment component is achieving the same thing, okay? So the lesson here is let's attack up front, attack our questions, gather the information, predict, and then get to the answer choices. So let's try that here. It's a similar question. Which of the following statements is true regarding continuous measurement? Again, it's a definition question disguised as an application question. And what are we concerned with? We're concerned with continuous measurement. So let's think, what do we know about continuous measurement? Well, the other type of measurement we would think about is discontinuous measurement or permanent product. Continuous measurement captures all instances of behavior. It tends to be more accurate than discontinuous measurement. Frequency, rate, latency, IRT, and duration are types of continuous measurement. So now we have this information we've gathered. Let's answer the question. We're looking for a true statement regarding continuous measurement. So A, continuous measurement only records some instances of behavior. Is that true? No, we just talked about continuous measurement records all instances of behavior, making it the most accurate type of measurement. B, rate, latency, interval recording, duration, and frequency are all types of continuous measurement. Okay, don't read too quickly. Speed is not the answer, okay? Getting the questions correctly is going to give you speed, not the other way around. What is wrong with B? Well, rate, latency are right, duration, frequency are right. Interval recording is discontinuous, so we have to eliminate B. C, continuous measurement is typically more accurate than discontinuous measurement. Is that true? Absolutely. So far, C looks like our best answer. Let's read everyone just to make sure. D, continuous measurement is typically reserved for a large group settings. No, you would typically in a large group setting need some sort of discontinuous measurement. Now that is not a absolute, right? But we do know continuous measurement is not typically reserved for a large setting. The best answer here that is true is going to be C. Continuous measurement is typically more accurate than discontinuous measurement. Which of the following examples represents socially mediated behavior? Now, what is socially mediated behavior? It's behavior that involves two or more individuals. Think about our functions. One function called automatic, also sometimes known as sensory, but that automatic actually has a meaning. And the meaning of automatic is it occurs with just a single person. That's the difference. Automatic is one person. Socially mediated involves two or more. So in these examples, we need to find the socially mediated behavior or the behavior that involves two or more people. A, my room got hot last night, so I turned on the air conditioner using my phone. Was anybody else involved in A? Nope, just you. A is automatic. B, I make sure and wash my hands before I eat a meal. Anybody else involved? Nope, B is automatic. C, a bug bit me, so I swatted at it and scratched the bug bite. Socially mediated automatic. Automatic, only one person involved. Leaves us with D. As soon as I get to work, I ask a technician to give me a morning report. This is socially mediated, me asking the technician giving me the report. That is socially mediated. So which of the following examples represents socially mediated behavior? D, as soon as I get to work, I ask a technician to give me a morning report. The first instance of reinforcement was given after 5 responses, the second after 4 responses, the third after 5 responses, and the fourth after 5 responses. Using only the information given, what would the variable ratio schedule be? All right, where to begin? Well, what are we answering? We are answering about variable ratios. In order to answer this question, you have to know what a variable ratio is. That's why I always say knowing your terms and definitions is not only the key, but it's necessary to pass. So what is a variable ratio schedule? Well, it's a reinforcement schedule based on responses and an average number of responses. Knowing that, this question becomes very easy. Because if we're only using this information given, how are we going to find the variable ratio schedule or the average number of responses schedule? Well, we're going to find the average of the responses. So the first instance of reinforcement was given after 5 responses. That would be an FR5 if we weren't finding a variable ratio. And then we have 4 responses, then 5 responses, then 5 responses. So we have 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5 divided by 4 to get the average, we're going to get 4.75. And that should obviously say variable ratio, but our answer here is going to be C, VR 4.75. What measurement procedure would be most appropriate to use if I wanted to measure how long it took for my teaching aide to respond to a fight out on the playground? Okay, continuous measurement question. Choosing a measurement procedure. What are we measuring? Are we measuring time or are we measuring responses? Oh, we're measuring time, how long. So we can eliminate rate, leaves us with latency, duration, and IRT. Are we measuring the time in between responses, in between the teaching aide's responses? No, we're measuring that first response. We can eliminate IRT, which is time in between responses. Leaves us with latency and duration. Now, which one is going to be better, latency or duration? Well, what is latency? Latency is the time in between an SD to the response. Duration is the total time of a response. Are we measuring how long the response was once the teaching aide responded? No, we were concerned with how long it took her once the SD was in place. So when that fight broke out, how long did it take for the teaching aide to respond? In other words, the SD to the response. So knowing what we just said, what are we looking for? We're clearly looking for B, latency. How soon can you complete your RBT renewal competency assessment? Okay, so I don't necessarily expect you to have studied this or maybe not even know this. I kind of throw these questions in every now and then, like the document questions, just because you're aware in case they do decide to put something like this on the exam. It's hard to say how technical they're going to get, but just in case, let's know it, right? So how soon can you complete your RBT renewal competency assessment? Every year, you have to get your RBT renewed. You have to complete another competency assessment. When is the soonest you can do that? Because obviously you can't just get your RBT renewed and then immediately do the competency. They set a time frame. What's the answer? Is it 30 days, 45 days, 6 months, or 3 months before you're set to renew? So the answer is going to be 45 days before you're set to renew, you are able to complete your competency assessment. And you can complete that up to the date of your renewal. And then once your renewal date passes, if you haven't done your competency, your license will lapse and you're going to have to go through the steps to get it renewed. But 45 days before you're set to renew, you can start completing your competency assessment. Consider the following. Joanna carries around a stuffed animal whenever she is at her house. If Joanna is asked to do her homework or to complete a chore, she will engage in the task only if she has her animal. If the animal is not around, Joanna will not engage until it is. What is the most likely function of Joanna's behavior? How do we hypothesize function? We ask ourselves, what is maintaining this behavior? What is keeping this behavior going? Why is this behavior occurring? So why is Joanna's behavior occurring? Is she trying to gain something or tangible? Is she trying to escape a situation or avoid a situation? Is she trying to get attention? Or is this non-socially mediated automatic reinforcement? Well, it's not going to be attention. We don't talk about attention anywhere in this question. It's not automatic, right? We have Joanna being asked to do tasks, right? Joanna gaining access to this stuffed animal. So it's going to be socially mediated, not automatic. It leaves us with tangible or escape. So be careful here. Is Joanna trying to escape from the task or is she simply trying to obtain a tangible? Well, if we read closely, it says she will engage in the task, but only if she has her animal. So she has no issue engaging in these tasks, but she really wants access to her stuffed animal. So she's trying to gain access to a tangible. So what is the most likely function of Joanna's behavior? A, gaining access to a tangible. If I ask my son to put his dish in the sink and then I point at the sink, what type of prompt am I providing? Okay, pretty straightforward prompting question. What are we doing here? Are we physically prompting, gesturally modeling, or verbal? It's clearly not a verbal prompt. The SD is put dishes in the sink, and then the prompt is pointing at the sink. It's not a verbal prompt. Are you physically prompting the son? Are you grabbing his hands or nudging him along? No, you're just pointing. There is no physical prompting involved. Are you modeling for him? Did you ask him to put the dish in the sink and then put your own dish in the sink? No, you just simply made a gesture. You simply pointed at the sink as a prompt to have your son put his dish in the sink. So again, the SD is asking the son to put his dish in the sink. The prompt is pointing at the sink, and hopefully the response is son putting dish in sink. What type of prompt am I providing? A B, gestural prompt. If over the course of several days you took data on a behavior and the behavior continued to happen more and more, how would you describe the trend of that behavior? This is a graphing question in a wordy form. So let's think about it, okay? If you're not familiar with this or you're a little confused, think about it. What's happening? Always ask yourself that question. What is happening? You took data over the course of several days, so you have several data points. The behavior is continuing to happen more and more. The behavior is increasing. How will you describe the trend? Well, the trend can either be increasing, decreasing, or steady. It's not going to be steady, right? The behavior is happening more and more. It won't be decreasing because, again, behavior is happening more and more. The trend of that data is going to be increasing. Ask yourself that question. What is happening? Okay. Question prompts are great ways to get you analyzing. If you're not asking yourself questions, you're not analyzing. Ask yourself questions. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Check out rbtexamreview.com. Questions, comments, let me know. Work hard, study hard. I'll see you soon.